Here comes Halloween, and to celebrate, we're gonna go through some of the worst horror movies ever. But there's a twist. The only ones we're talking about today are based off of video games. But I can't do it alone. So I'm gonna summon the only entity that I know that can help me. Du hast mich gefragt. Lässig hart sind born gay. Und die werden Robbe stay.
Hey SushiRobo, nice to see you again.
I was summoning an evil spirit. I must have fucked up. No. Impossible. Were you the evil spirit I was summoning?
You know, it's a side gig. So you called me here, so how can I help you?
Well, fuck it. Anyways, I'm doing a list of 5 awful horror movies, but they're based off of video games. You in?
Oh, you know I'm in. Let's do this.
Here's our list of
5 awful horror movies based on video games.
Let's begin. Number 1. Resident Evil. It's no secret that I harbor a great hate for the Resident Evil cinematic universe. If it's been a secret to you, then consider this me letting the cat out of the bag. Why do I despise the RE movies? Because you have an amazing, if not the best source material to work with. It's all laid out. Amazing story, awesome setup, heroic and fleshed out characters. And what does the producers choose? Oh, let's piss on the established characters that the fanbase loves and knows and create new and uninteresting characters. Chris Redfield? Nah, let's introduce a bland-ass hero that'll be the main focus of the entire franchise. Then afterwards, let's make sequel after sequel and maybe introduce the original characters, but they'll take a backseat to Blandy McBlandass. Oh, and let's not forget that the cinematic universe that is based on one of the most influential survival horror video game franchises will fall in suit with the ridiculous Fast and the Furious franchise and become less about the survival horror source material and more of a frat boy fucked off action flick.
Sushi, oh, calm down, bro.
Sorry. Just, God, what did they do to Resident Evil? I mean, why?
I know, buddy. I know.
I can hold on the glimmer of hope that they'll one day reboot the series. Maybe bring it back to its horror roots like they did with RE7. I know that I'm stepping on a lot of toes with this selection, but I don't care. Don't worry though, if I offended you, guess what? You'll live. What's next on the list, Russ?
Number 2, Silent Hill. Silent Hill was an awesome video game on the PlayStation 1. The first time I played it, man, it was frightening. The atmosphere of this game. So creepy, foggy, puzzles. It had that kind of Resident Evil feel to it, but definitely on a creepier atmosphere because it was more of not running around and getting scared of zombies, but walking through this town not knowing what's gonna happen. And the images in it are so disturbing. How could you get this wrong on a horror movie? I know, right? So they took Silent Hill the game and the plot and they threw that out the window. Basically, you don't play as the original character in Silent Hill. You play as this dumb girl who ends up losing her kid and wandering off and her husband's somewhere. I don't know. Did it have a creepy atmosphere? Yeah, I guess I'll give it that. Did have the cool transition like in the game and you heard the siren and everything started decaying and rotting away, so that was kind of cool. But just the overall plot of the movie, I don't know, it had some weird girl that was like tormented and she was there to save the girl, but the girl was killing the people in the town. I don't know, it had nothing to do with the damn game, I tell you that. And then they went and make a sequel of the movie. They made another Silent Hill. They didn't learn from the first one. Apparently they're gonna try to fix what they ruined. But I highly suggest, if you haven't played Silent Hill the game, to check it out. And you've been warned about the movie.
Number 3, The House of the Dead. Everyone knows the curse of Uwe Boll. And we all know about his scam that got him paid for producing and creating cinematic failures. By way of a loophole in the German laws, he was able to make at least 50% of his money from the movie's budget. So it's easy to say why this movie failed. Because it was made to fail. In detail though, you take one of the corniest yet most entertaining on-rail shooters ever, and though you have a decent amount of source material to work with thanks to Sega, you choose to make an incoherent mess of a movie. The plot, if you can call it a plot, makes no sense, and just because you give characters the names of their video game counterparts doesn't mean you're basing it off of the video game. I watched this movie when I was in high school, and I was at a loss at what I was watching. Was I watching a lame action film? Was it some sort of poorly written zombie movie? Not to mention that the characters and locations didn't match. Nor did anything that happened in the film even come close to the source material. But this film isn't just a bad video game movie. Standalone, the House of the Dead film was just a plain bad movie. And Ue had his hand in a lot more franchises than this one. But we'll get to those in time.
Well, on to number 4. Alone in the Dark. You know how terrible this movie is? So terrible that I didn't even get to see it. I tried watching this movie for the video and I can't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it on Netflix, Hulu, a pirated copy on Pirates Bay, or YouTube. It's like it's been wiped out of existence, and maybe that's a good thing.
I've seen Alone in the Dark, unfortunately, and like the last entry, it's cursed with Ue's money-grubbing stench. If you're familiar with his movies, you can just fill in the blanks with multiple choice.
There was an Alone in the Dark that I found that came out, I think, in the 50s, and that one probably was a lot better than this one. I know the video game came out on PlayStation 1 and it had an awesome, creepy atmosphere, much like Silent Hill. I know you're gonna have a great time playing the game, but watching the movie, probably not so much. If any of you guys have a copy of this movie and you want to waste $3 and send it to me, I'd appreciate it. So, number 4, Alone in the Dark, more like should have been left in the dark.
Number 5, Doom. Look, I'm a fan of Doom, and I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. But just because I enjoyed it myself doesn't excuse its flaws. And it wouldn't be fair that I didn't at least name one thing on this list that I liked. Toting the badge of multiple genres such as sci-fi, action, and of course horror. The Doom movie is loosely based off of the id Software classic of the same name, starring 2 awesome actors, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and one of my favorite actors, Carl Urban, who would take the iconic role of Judge Joseph Dredd in the Dredd movie. God, I fucking love Dredd! Anyways, problems with the movie don't lie within the typical mantra of doesn't follow the source material. Despite that it really doesn't, it still delivers a similar narrative for the most part. For me though, what ruined the Doom movie was the lack of the Doom feel. It was way more sci-fi and less action horror. Granted, there were bits of action and horror in it, the movie was plagued with slow segments of exposition. Personally, the movie could have also benefited from the more practical effects, opposed to computer generated. In the end though, Doom did some fan service and gave us an awesome first-person live-action playthrough that blew minds and I swear inspired the movie Hardcore Henry. In the end, yes, you can call this movie awful in terms of horror movies, but it holds a special place in my heart and the hearts of its cult following. There you have it, our list of 5 awful horror movies based off of video games. Special thanks to Russ Lyman for being summoned here to help. I'll see you at PRGE soon there, Russ.
Well, SushiRobo, I want to thank you again for having me on your video. And yes, I will see you at Portland Retro Gaming Expo very soon. So, as always, I'm Russ Lyman, and I'll see you next video.
What an odd character. Kinda like him. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, give me a like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.